Now, the After Action Review with Rod Rodriguez.
And welcome to the After Action Review podcast. I'm your host, Rod Rodriguez. Yesterday was a tremendous day. I'm coming off of this amazing high. I had an opportunity to host the podcast table at the 2018 Bunker Labs first muster of the year here in Washington, D.C. An amazing event. These are the kind of events, guys, that remind me why I love veteran entrepreneurs. It is fire. It is passion that they bring to the table. And my guest today is no different. Kyle Chesnut of Kilo Charlie Clothing. You know, I have been so critical of veteran apparel companies in the past. I wouldn't say negative, but I've definitely been critical and I've been frustrated because so many of them seem like cash grabs. They seem like somebody's thinking, vets like t-shirts, I'll make t-shirts, I'll make money. That's it. There's no thought, throw on some veteran crap on the front and they'll buy it. Kyle brings a different perspective to this. Kyle brings design. He brings passion, and you're going to hear it in this interview. He also is a new entrepreneur. He's a small new company. He's learning along with you guys, and he's going to share some of those insights, some of his mistakes, and some of his wins. Guys, remember, we have to support each other. We have to support each other's businesses. Follow your heart on that. Follow your gut instinct. If you think it's a shallow attempt at a cash grab, don't buy it. Don't subscribe to it. Don't follow them. But if you think there is legitimate heart, legitimate passion, and a desire to serve the entrepreneurial world, to serve the community of veterans, definitely support them. I know I see it in Kilo Charlie Clothing. So I'm very excited to bring you this interview. Kyle Chesnut, Kilo Charlie Clothing. Make sure you check them out at www.kilocharlieclothing.com. They're also on Facebook at Kilo Charlie. At Kilo Charlie Clothing. Yes, so facebook.com/@Kilo Charlie Clothing. All right, let's get this interview going. Kyle Chesnut, Kilo Charlie Clothing. I heard somebody define success as having nothing to do on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. Like my content happiness right now is if we were doing okay, well enough to rent out a space, have a little shop, print shirts. I would be completely happy. So my name is Kyle. I am 11 Bravo, so I was in the Army for 3 years. I was stationed in Germany all my 3 years, except for the 1 year I did a tour in Afghanistan. Got out, went to school for graphic design, and then a couple years later, I decided to go for this. I've been doing graphic design for years now, even before I got out of the Army. And I saw everybody that started making clothing companies. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That's up my alley. I'll just give it a shot. So my brother and I started this last year, actually, April 1st. So we're coming up on a year now. And I'm trying to think. So you can edit this part. So
No
going
problem.
blank now.
So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to jump into the t-shirt business and not do other types of graphic design art?
All right. So what inspired me to do this? Like I said, I have a background in graphic design. I've seen a lot of these companies come up, and they're like, "Oh, we're veteran owned. We do this, we do that," and I see a lot of designs, and I'm like, "Well, I can do that, and I can make better ones." I'm not trying to make myself sound arrogant, but do you know what I mean? Like I love designing. That's what I do, and that's what I put my heart and soul into each design I do. We don't have that many yet. I mean, we're young. This is a part-time side business. So I work full-time. My brother works full-time, and then we added Pat, who he came in November, and we added him, and he works full-time. So it's a side business that it's actually growing now. So That's what got me into it.
There are a lot of veteran-owned apparel companies, t-shirt businesses.
Yeah.
Grunt Style right now is the main force in the world
The
of
king.
the
Yeah.
king of patriotic apparel.
Yeah.
What sets you apart?
I think honestly, what sets me apart from them is I started this myself. Like I know Daniel started it himself. I don't know if he had graphic design experience. I think I've seen his story. I think he just was a personal trainer or whatever, and just started doing this on the side. I think for me, I create the designs myself. So I run the social media myself with the help of Patrick now. But I ran the social media, I did the marketing, created the designs, printed the shirts, put the orders in, I put the time in. So like my brother's the business end of it, like money side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all he deals with. But I run everything else.
Now, the apparel business is one where we see companies come and go. They rise and they fall. They rise and they fall. You're coming at this from a graphic design perspective,
right?
Which I think is a little bit different. I think a lot of people come in there, they have the intention of starting apparel companies, but they don't have that
niche
vision, that eye for design.
Yeah, I think that when these companies start these out, they start and they find a graphic designer, or they just hire one straight out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we're a side business, so money's tight. I've seen a lot of these companies and they just shoot up. I guess they got money somehow, they invested, or I don't want to go broke. I mean, if I go broke, I don't have anything to lose because I'm not putting myself in debt. And that's the one thing that me and my brother started. We're like, we're not getting in debt in this. If it fails in a year or two, hey, we can say we tried. But that's where we're at right now.
So are you using your own funds to push this? This is not like a startup. You're not getting investors. You're not looking for loans. This is you.
Yeah. I work as a part-time bartender, and my money from that goes to the company.
See, that's an important lesson. I think a lot of young veterans, especially younger folk who, they are in the middle of this world of startup companies where it's investments this, investments that. You got companies that can raise $4 or $5 million on an idea, and they've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So it's wise, and it's also it says something about you guys that you're doing this from your own pocketbook.
Yeah, from my own pocket. Yeah, and I think back to Daniel from Grunt Style, what he said was he had like $1,200 or something like that, and he said don't go into debt, and that was one of the things I took from him. I'm not going into debt. So if this company doesn't work, which it's a 50-50 chance it might take off or it might not, but at least we won't go into debt, and we tried to succeed. And that's all we can do for right now.
Tell me about the designs. What inspires your design for your clothing line?
So basically, the designs I did when we first launched were real simple. I didn't really know where to go with the design process and what we were doing. So I honestly have on a separate hard drive, I have over 500 designs. So we took real basic ones just to put our feet in the water and see where we're at. Now that we're coming up, we've got 3,000 followers on Instagram. We just hit 700 on Facebook. Just by word of mouth, I don't know if you know about how Facebook, you can pay $50 to get your name out there, your page out there. Shit doesn't work. It's so hard.
Now, that's interesting that you say that because Facebook, the social media advertisement, the boosts, a lot of people have used it with a lot of success, but I think a lot of it goes into how you use it. And it's
Yeah,
funny that you say that because I was feeling the same way. I had to sit down and really look at how I was targeting my audience. And literally in a weekend, it all changed.
no
50
shit.
bucks, no shit. 50 bucks took me from maybe 200 views to 1,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you like, it can work. If you ever need help with it, I'd be more than happy to sit down and
Yeah,
talk with you about the
no,
targeting. But
definitely.
so tell me a little bit about the design focus for you. So so first of all, the company, what is the company called?
Kilo Charlie Clothing. So Kilo, I took the military alphabet, Kilo for my name and Charlie for my brother's name, and combined forces. We actually were called Alpha 27 way before we got into becoming an actual company. So I just started a Facebook page and Instagram page, and that was the name. And then once we started legalizing the company, our lawyer was like, "Hey, I'm looking into like trademarks for you guys and all this stuff." And he's like, "Alpha, there's a lot of alphas out there, and it's gonna be hard for you guys to latch onto that name." So me and him sat down. I was like, "Why don't we just do our names? It's simple. We're brothers. This is our partnership." So that's where it came from.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about one of your first designs. One of
So
the designs that was really successful for you.
this was, if you see it, it's the hoodie.
Okay.
So it's the cross rifles. I did like ARs. I didn't want to do Grunt Styles original, cross rifles because I didn't want to rip that off because that's not how I'm. It's not what I'm about. So this was actually the original logo too. I changed it up and made it a lot more simple. But my designs are I just want people to be enthusiastic about military apparel. You know what I mean? I don't know what else
What does that
more
mean to
simple to
you?
get.
What does that mean to you for somebody to be enthusiastic about military apparel?
I'm trying to think. Just having that love and for country. That's what it means to me. And I see people driving down the street all the time with American flag on the back of their truck, and I'm like, that's who I want to target. People like that, they're just not going to get offended by a gun on their shirt or a flag on their shirt.
And who would you consider your target audience? Are you looking for veterans or are you looking for civilians?
Civilians. I'm looking for veterans and civilians. I mean, if anybody that wants, I have a lot of civilians that follow our Instagram account, and I've had them message us, and I'm like, no, man, we're all about. You don't have to be military to wear our stuff. Like, it's just supporting a veteran-owned company that loves America. If you love America, then support us.
Tell me about any good after action review has to talk about, what was the intent. So when you sat down with your brother and said, "Hey, look, this is what I want to do," what was your intent at that moment when you were forming this idea, this company?
Oh my God. So my intent for this when we started the company was grand scale. Like, I had so many dreams and ambitions, and me and him sat down and he was like, "Dude, you got to like simplify it." Like, he's like, "We're starting off from nothing. Like, we started with like $1,000 just printing shirts. So we sat down and we're like, we're going to small scale this. We're going to small scale it for a year, see how it goes. And hopefully build up from there. So we've already been in talks about expanding production line and stuff like that. We don't have much like on our website right now. We have pre-orders and stuff like that. But as of actually printing, we're talking about that on the year mark to where we're going to actually start printing more shirts.
And what does your printing look like right now?
Actually, we haven't printed anything since August, and that was like a pineapple grenade and palm trees. So it was a palm trees and hand grenades is what the T-shirt was called.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So tell me what's gone right for you guys. What can you look at it and say definitively, like these were awesome small or large victories? What's gone right?
We've done gun shows, and those were huge hits for us. So we sold majority of our inventory at gun shows. That we target that audience because all of our shirts have military apparel or guns on them, and that's been huge for us. We haven't done. I think Patrick did one for us in December, down in southeastern Missouri. We did okay there, not too much, but I'd say in the last year we've done about 6 gun shows, and that's what's brought in or sold most of our inventory. Like I said, the internet's it's hit or miss, man.
Yeah. Now, what would you say has gone wrong? What are some pitfalls that you might have fallen into lately?
There's a lot of stuff that's gone wrong. Let's see. Yeah, you're gonna have to edit this part out. Trying to think. You just hit snags, like money issues.
Talk to me about the money issues. Like, what kind of issues have you had?
Just because, this is out of our pocket.
Right.
So we don't have full scale like most of these companies do where they can come up with a design and be like, here, we're printing this shirt. But I don't know. See, that's the one thing I don't know about the other companies is they print a shirt, they throw a shirt up, like it's on the website. How many people are buying it? Because I've seen that. We've done it, and we haven't sold a shirt. So it's. We're fairly new too.
Why
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what I've seen from Instagram, it's just a lot of, I like that. That's cool, and then move on, keep scrolling. I've done it where I'm like, oh, that's cool, I like it, and then that's about it. So I don't know if it's because we're so small right now still, or we're just still not hitting that target audience. But I think I've seen the failure is we put a shirt up, either it's for sale or pre-order, people like it, they go to our page or our website, and then there's no buy, and that's where our fault is, right?
So it sounds like what your issue is right now is you're trying to really put together Kilo Charlie's funnel. You're trying to put together your customer funnel. So you've got them coming around, they're liking your product, but you just need to find a way to bring them in a little bit further to get the deal, to get the sale.
Exactly.
So tell me about some of the, you're an 11 Bravo, right? You're a former 11
Right.
Bravo, graphic designer. So you have the graphic design piece down pat. Now, the business end of this, how have you educated yourself on the business side to the t-shirt business?
I think I've really educated myself on the business side to the t-shirt business, is that I've been around, I've followed all these companies, I've seen what they do and what they don't do. And I think that's another thing coming up on our year mark that we can sit down, all three of us, and talk about where our progress lacks and where our progress needs to go. But following other companies and seeing what they do and don't do really adds to what we can do and how we can strive to be better.
Leaders are readers. So make sure you're filling your bookshelf up with the right books. Check out the After Action Review website, click on the store tab, and you're going to find several books there, a variety of books recommended by veteran business leaders. And while you're at it, you're going to find a tab to go click on to get some Alpha Brain from Onnit. Now, Onnit's going to help you with memory and focus. So here's the challenge to you. Read any one of those books. I highly recommend a Gary Vaynerchuk book. Order any of those books and try reading 2 chapters without Alpha Brain. And then read another 2 chapters with Alpha Brain. You tell me what the difference is. Read smart books, take some Alpha Brain. Your business is worth it. Let's get back to the show. Have you read, are there any books or digital mentors even? I highly encourage people to, if you don't have a person that you can go to talk to in person or face to face, that is, I highly recommend going on YouTube, finding a digital mentor, and just consuming everything that they put out. Is there anybody that you look up to, or their books, or somebody that you look up to in the sense of the business realm of this?
Yeah, there's sorry, I'm losing my voice there. There's a guy named Trey Llewellyn who I followed. He's from St. Louis, where we're located, and I think it was back when he started a t-shirt company. He's like an entrepreneur now. He's well known. I'd never heard of him until a buddy of mine at the bar told me about him. He actually is good friends with him. So he started a t-shirt company back in 2013, I think, and it was taking a while to go. And then that whole Ferguson thing took off, and he was selling like stupid gun shirts and like just funny gun shirts or whatever. And the whole Ferguson thing took off, and his t-shirt company took off out the roof. I'd never heard of this, and like my buddy Brian told me about it, and so he started showing me all this stuff and all the info and all the work he had done, and I was like, wow, that's insane. I don't know if he has the company anymore, but he's like well-known entrepreneur. He travels the world and stuff like that now, but he like tripled his sales from just that whole incident in St. Louis.
So you're talking about a meeting that you're going to have with the other business partners.
Yeah. So my brother and Patrick.
Right. So you're going to sit down. You're going to talk about your 1 year benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you want to accomplish in this meeting? Because these types of meetings are very intimate situations, and when it comes to family, friends, and money and business, those things can often get a little hairy.
Yeah.
What's your approach to that?
So coming up on our 1 year anniversary, we're going to have a meeting, sit down and talk about goals me and Patrick already talked about goals for this year, which is money, like selling shirts, getting money, obviously, but we want to be able to buy our own screen print press, to that effect of heat dryer, everything that goes along with it. And then our main goal, like right now, is, I know we're so small and it's like a freaking home run to do right now, but is to be at SHOT Show next year. So
wow, that's a good goal. That's a lot. That's a pretty big goal.
Yeah. I mean, even if me and him could go out there and we don't have a booth, we could still get out there and, I don't know, hopefully take a luggage full of clothes and try to sell them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something to get out there. But that is I think one of our main goals right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what are some hiccups that you foresee that could get in the way of accomplishing some of those goals?
Like I said, we're a side business now, so money, that could definitely get in the way of it. Hopefully, if our sales don't improve, that's another issue too that would decline us from meeting our goals. And we really want to meet these goals. I give this company, even though it's a side company, 110% effort. My wife yells at me all the time. She's like, "You're spending too much time on this." I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to make my dream come true." But she gets it. She's very supportive, but I have a 3-year-old son too, so it's very time consuming to work a full-time job, a part-time job, and have a family.
Well, tell me about that dream. What is your dream?
To take this company and be successful. Like this is what is
successful to you? What does that mean? I think that's yeah.
To have I don't care about being a millionaire. I want my shirts to get out there. I want people to see my shirts, wear my shirts, and just have fun. And maybe have a shop, maybe a small little shop where I can print shirts out of and have a steady income. I mean, I like my job, my day job now, but if I work at a shop, screen printing shop. And if I had my own small little shop just doing this stuff, I'd be happy. I mean, as long as it was a decent income.
Tell me about your work-life balance. How is that working for you?
It's good. Me and my wife have figured out a system. So she's a nurse, and we have our schedules, but we're at home every night together with our son. So I balance work pretty well. You know, I work at the bar 3 nights or on the weekend, so it's tough, but we get through it.
I had this conversation just recently about sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with the guy Gary Vaynerchuk.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's really big into entrepreneurship and media and all this stuff. But he brought up a great point. He says, you know, everybody talks about the sacrifices we make as entrepreneurs, but they never talk about what those sacrifices are.
Oh yeah.
And what it boils down to is that it isn't sacrificing dumb shit that you don't care about. It's sacrificing your kid's little league game. It's sacrificing dinner with the wife. It's sacrificing date nights, bowling, you know, your softball league.
Yeah.
Giving up those things to design T-shirts and print them.
I don't even have friends. I mean, I have like my military buddies, but my wife and my son and Patrick, who I talk to every day, and but I don't. Me and my wife go out on date nights, but I don't. I work, and then I spend time with my family because my family is the most important thing to me. My family is the most important thing to me. Then it comes this company. So I would never put this company before my family.
But that company comes before everything else.
Right.
And that sounds like your priorities are straight. That I think I always worry when I hear entrepreneurs talk about all the other things they have going on. And I'm thinking, you know, as you know, just having this podcast, I've given up so many days. I used to train in jiu-jitsu every single day.
Oh yeah.
Twice a day.
Oh,
and now
shit.
it's like I go once a week if I'm lucky.
Oh shit.
If I'm lucky. And this is something that I love doing, but I had to make a choice. I'm like, okay, I love doing that. I love doing this. This is what I want to make a living doing.
Right. I gotcha.
So you talked about people, they like your product, they don't sell.
Right.
Or they don't buy, I should say. So they like, they don't buy. An issue that I've seen in my own field is a lack of sharing. So they can like it, and that's great. If you don't buy it, all right. But share the product. And you put that share button out there and you're encouraging them to like tell other people because you're hoping those other people will buy. Right. So tell me about your marketing strategy. Has that changed and is it changing now?
So our marketing strategy did change. Actually, one of the owners from Grumpy Joe's, I don't know if you know Grumpy Joe's Apparel, he reached out to me via Facebook. He was like, "Hey man, I can boost your Instagram sales or your Instagram likes, whatever." And I was like, "All right, yeah." So he did a free trial for me. We saw like 400 likes in a weekend. And I was like, okay. So I gave it a shot for a month, and that's how we boosted to 3,000. So I did it for a month, and I'm like, all right, you know, it's awesome. I appreciate them. They're awesome guys. But like I said, we can't afford $100 a month just to keep pushing just likes.
Yeah.
Which is understandably huge. I understand, you know, you go to some company's Instagram page and they're at
likes don't pay bills.
Yeah, 15,000, 20 likes. And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. But I think that's one of the things that Patrick has done for me for Facebook. When he came to me in November and was like, hey, let's partner up. I'm like, all right. I had 257 likes on Facebook. Like yesterday, we just hit 700. That's all him. Like he's doing the right things. He's tagging people. He's sharing the page to other sites, like other Facebook sites, like like airsoft companies or airsoft guys or whatever. So he has been a tremendous help to me. He's an awesome dude, and I can't say enough nice things about him.
So it's funny that you say that, because like the notion of likes, comments, those are great things, but at the end of the day, you can't pay bills with
Yeah,
likes. And
right.
that's the reality of it. It's funny because I was at the Vetties this weekend.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great event.
that's
It
all.
was so good. It was such a great event. Um, I put up a couple of pictures, and I know I had a picture with a couple of celebrities.
Yeah.
One of my tweets has over a thousand
Oh
views,
shit,
a
that's awesome.
thousand views, and yet no uptick in my
No shit.
listenership, no uptick in the number of likes no uptick in the number of members for the Facebook page, no uptick in anything except that post.
That's insane.
So that's a great lesson for me, and that's something I try now. I'm beginning to formulate this lesson and impart on others, especially young entrepreneurs, that it's great to be aggressive with your marketing. It's great to get those likes, great to get those comments, but I myself am in the same boat, trying to formulate my consumer funnel,
Right.
trying to get, go from like to subscribe.
Right.
Whereas it's, a lot of people want like to purchase. My version of a purchase is definitely a subscription.
Subscription. Yeah.
So, it's tough to connect those two things. And it's also tough not to get involved with the like game.
Yeah.
It's great to see, like, I've got 3,000 followers, 6,000, 12,000 followers, but don't mean shit if they don't buy a shirt.
Yeah. Don't pay my bill.
Has anything changed from when you first started this endeavor to where you're at now, in terms of your focus, in terms of your strategy and your goals?
Everything has definitely changed since we started. Our goals have changed. Our focus has changed. Our strategy has definitely changed. Like I said, we've got our name out there. We're still young. We're still new. So a lot of people don't know who we are. Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Let's see. Fuck, I'm drawing a blank. I mean, starting out, I have like 20 likes. I mean, I know likes aren't important, but it does get our name out there to eventually keep growing. So our strategy is definitely got to change within the next few months before we hit our year mark. I think that's what we're going to sit down and talk about, where we can boost marketing, boost sales, reach out more. We're doing a collaboration with the Valhalla group on Facebook. So Patrick knows them. He got in contact with them, and we're going to make their shirts for them and then throw them on our site. And then I think we're going to do a pre-order for them. So we did their in the messenger, they're on Facebook. It says how many comments. They had like 91 comments of people like commenting. I'm like, holy crap. I've never seen that many comments on a shirt. So hopefully we can make this happen, and that will definitely get our name out there too. So
what advice do you have for a veteran who's listening to this and they want to start their own t-shirt, or they want to start their own patriotic apparel line? What's your advice to that guy who's listening to that right now?
So my advice for anybody that wants to start, say, apparel company or a veteran-owned company, have a game plan set. Start with small goals. See where your income is going to be, your money. How are you going to take the company with money? So are you going to get investors? are you going to do what we did and we just split it up out of our pockets? I'd say definitely have a beginning game and an end game of where you see yourself in 3 years. I say a 3-year mark because we're almost at 1 year, and I think if we're still around in a couple of years, we'll definitely have a bigger venture. I think if we're able to still make it in 3 years, I mean, like I said, we're not broke, but we don't have the funds. It's like we do everything out of pocket. So for anybody else that's a veteran and they want to do this stuff, sit down with your partner or your business partner, whatever, and seriously have a plan of action of how you're going to achieve your goal, because it's going to take time. Unless you have $50,000 to invest or start your company, then I'd say you're in a good spot to take your company pretty well.
Tell us where we can go to find out more about your company and buy those shirts.
Okay. So you can find us on kilocharlieclothing.com. That's our website. We have our backstory there of how we started, my brother and I. So you can find our story about how we started and who we are and what we're about. And so we also have our Instagram, Kilo Charlie Clothing, and then our Facebook page, Kilo Charlie Clothing. And then we are on Twitter at the Kilo Charlie.
Awesome. And if somebody wants to reach out to you directly, have some questions or something like that, how can they do that?
Yeah, if anybody wants to reach us, they can find us either on Instagram or on Facebook, message us, or on our website, you can email us.
Terrific. Awesome.
Yep.
Hey, man, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to do this interview. I really hope that this will push some attention towards you guys. I don't know if you're familiar with some of the goals that we've set here at the AAR podcast, but I have a 10K 2023 goal. And that's, I want to help create 10,000 jobs for American veterans by 2023. And the way I'm going to do that is to promote every veteran business that I can get a hold of. So
that's awesome.
What I want to do is I want to push this message out there and clear out your shelves. I want people to buy your stuff and say, yeah, I heard about this through the podcast and everything.
Oh, I do want to plug the YouTube channel because he started the YouTube channel.
Plug it.
So you can find the YouTube channel at Kilo Charlie Clothing on YouTube.
All right, brother. I will catch you later.
Hey,
I will
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you.
Seriously. Bro. No, seriously. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem, brother. Hey, you be good, and I'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, man.
Thanks, man.
What I tell you. Amazing interview, Kyle Chesnut. Kilo Charlie Clothing. Make sure you check out their website at www.kilocharlieclothing.com. And they're on Facebook at Kilo Charlie Clothing. Folks, you can support this podcast as well by ordering yourself some On It Alpha Brain right there. Helps your memory and focus. And something that I've been using a lot in the morning lately is MCT oil. If you want to check out the science behind all that good stuff, look. Yes, you could just go to onit.com. I get it. That's the shortcut. But what I need you to do, and you got the knife hand. Boom. If you're just listening, you're getting an audio knife hand to your face. All right. I need you to go to www.theaarpodcast.com, click on the store tab, and you're going to see a neat little banner there that has the Alpha Brain. I need to click on that because when you click on that and you order through our website, you're helping us out. It's that simple. You're supporting a veteran-owned business, and you're getting some amazing products from On It. Order any of those books from the website as well, and you're also supporting this podcast. If you're going to order some On It, you're going to order some books, you might as well order yourself a kick-ass t-shirt from Kilo Charlie Clothing. So, boom, trifecta win. You're helping two for the price of one. Bam. That does it for me, folks. The next episode is going to be all about the 2018 DC Muster Bunker Labs. Guys, everybody needs to follow a tribe. Everybody needs to be in a tribe. And Bunker Labs, if you are a veteran entrepreneur, Bunker Labs is your tribe. You need to go check them out, bunkerlabs.org. That's right. I love working with those guys. big shout out, huge shout out to my brother from another mother, my partner in crime, Chris McPhee, Green Beret Media. What an amazing time we had at the muster yesterday. Such a kick-ass time. You really got to check out Green Beret Media, photographer and video extraordinaire. We are bringing our two powers, with our powers combined. We're about to create some magic, some podcast and media content magic here in the DC area. That's right, we're about to change the game. That's your word. So check out the next episode. That will be episode 37, the After Action Review podcast. I will see you at that episode.